Welcome to the Waldorf GridIron Club podcast, your home for all things football at Waldorf University, the best small college football experience in America. Hosted by Andy Buffington and me, Troy Thompson, from the secret gridiron bunker beneath Volsdorf Field. Now, let's meet the captains of today's podcast.
Welcome to the Waldorf GridIron Podcast. I believe this is episode 14, Troy. Is it 14?
It is 14.
Yeah, lucky 13 was last Friday. So thanks, everybody, for joining us. We got a couple exciting guests tonight. Starting off across the table, one of our captains is going to be Zarren Egesdal. You guys know the name, you know the voice. He is the sports director at KIOW Radio, Mix 107.3 on your FM dial. Mm-hmm. He is the voice of not only the Four City Indians, but the Waldorf Warriors. He's also one of the hosts of Warrior Live that we do during the season. So, Zarren, what's up?
Not much. Thanks for having me, guys.
Yes.
Yeah, you nervous? I mean, usually you're the guy asking the questions.
Yeah, I've never been on this end before, so
Oh, we're going to beat you up a little bit.
yeah. I don't think nervous. I don't think I've ever been nervous for anything, but I if you want to beat me up, that's fine.
That's good.
It's going to be
we're going to do
good
that.
time.
Well, and you know, I've got a few things in the old playbook because it's because Zarren was a classmate of my oldest daughter, and so there's some stories, not necessarily stories about Zarren, but there's some things that he doesn't know about my philosophy in raising daughters, and we'll bring that up.
Oh, great! He's also same class, son number 2. So
that's right.
in this house, we just
You got numbers.
number them. Yeah. Of all the boys in the world. And I have 4. How are we so lucky to get the best one? And then we let them fight it out to figure out who that one is.
That's fantastic.
Yeah. Well, there you go. That's the first one.
Yeah, there we go. So Zarren is a hometown kid. He's Forest City High School. You got 3 sisters and a brother, and you're the baby of the family, right?
Yeah. There's 5 of us all together, and I am the baby.
Yeah, farm kid.
Oh yeah.
We'll have to talk about that.
A worker.
Yeah. Workhorse.
Because, so I've known Zarren maybe 2. Yeah, you were not 3 yet. And we did a community theater production way back then. And your family was a part of that. So Zarren, as a 2.5-year-old, is out there. After the show was over, you strike the set, and I mean, this was I built the set. I don't make small sets, and even then, this farm kid is out there as a 2.5-year-old, and he's just like hauling pieces of wood, and like his parents are like, "Get that over there," and he's like putting it in the spot. And meanwhile, I'm watching this, and I'm like, my 2 lazy children, like the older boys, Tate and Tanner, just like in the house.
Watching.
So I just went in there and laid into them. I'm like, Zarren is out there. He's 2.5-years-old. He's carrying things as big as he is. And you guys are just watching cartoons. Yeah. So you've inspired my family for many years to work harder.
Yeah. No. Thanks. I mean, I
You
guess
can hold that against Tanner. Lazy.
going to. Yeah. No. Definitely, he's gonna change my phone to Lazy Bones.
Oh, so what are you now?
He's Tanner T in my phone right now.
Oh, but now it's just
gonna
lazy.
Lazy bones.
Gonna go to Lazy Bones now.
Lazy Bones Thompson. No, that's a great name, really, for a nickname.
Lazy bones.
Tanner Lazy Bones Thompson.
Came up with that too.
Yeah, just right out. Boom.
Trademark.
Put a little
nailed it.
reserve,
Yeah.
Parenthesis R. Yeah.
So, since this is a football podcast, allegedly, Zarren played football at the Forest City High School. Number 73 was your number?
For my junior and senior years, I was 62 my freshman and my sophomore years.
Was there significance behind that number?
Yeah, behind 73 there was. Yeah, my dad was 71 when he played at Forest City, and my brother was 72 when he played at Forest City. So I had my eyes on wanting to be 73, and of course, there was circumstances why I wasn't 73 my freshman and my sophomore year, but as soon as it was available for me to take my junior and my senior year, I jumped all over it.
Yeah, you were a lineman. So was I. So was Andy at the end of this. So, I mean, we've all played those positions.
Yeah.
I will say that, my experience is like, you're going to be number 64. I'm like, okay, seems reasonable.
Right.
Yeah, we talked. I was 70.
Yeah, yeah.
I just was 70.
Yeah.
No, I mean, other than the significance of going in succession with my family, I mean, no, I didn't really care what number I was.
Right. Yeah. You want to play? Yeah.
Yeah.
So then you now you went down to Iowa Central after
Yeah.
high school, right? Yeah, you were down there with the Tritons. Now I was looking at the schedule your freshman year, and you guys had on your schedule Coffeyville.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Now that's where Coach Finley is from.
Yes. Yep.
You guys talked about that.
Yeah. I gave him some grief about that. Yeah, actually, there's a funny story about Coffeyville too. My freshman year at Iowa Central, because it's when we played Coffeyville was actually the same weekend as state band competition that always happens in Fort Dodge at Dodger Stadium, where Iowa Central plays.
Down in the dirty.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So they had a find of okay, we either got to play on an alternative date or we got to play in a new different location. And we wanted to play Coffeyville. I believe they wanted to play them on Sunday, because obviously nobody wants to play a college football game on a Friday night except for the Big Ten for some reason. So we wanted to play them on.
Idea, right? Yeah.
Horrible idea. So we wanted to play them on Sunday. Coffeyville refused to play us on Sunday. So we played Coffeyville on Saturday afternoon at Manson Northwest Webster's High School.
Oh my gosh. Like
Yeah.
17 miles to the west of Fort Dodge.
Yes.
Very small school.
Extremely small.
Weird. I mean, it's a natural turf.
Natural grass, and it's such a small place. It was so small on the sidelines that anybody, now I was down on the sidelines, but anybody that didn't like dress or had, maybe zero, I mean, I had zero chance of playing, but I gotta say, I don't know why I dressed, but the ones that didn't dress, actually had to sit in the stands because there wasn't enough room on the sidelines for our entire team.
Wow.
Yeah, and Coffeyville was extremely upset of playing there, but they didn't want to play us on Sunday, and so I'm sure Coach Twait, because that's actually where Coach Twait's kids went to school, and that's where Coach Twait lives in Manson.
Oh, yeah. Sure, that makes sense. He had an in.
Yeah.
Well, it's a nice district. Don't get me wrong, but
Right.
very
Nothing-
small school. Yeah, 1A. Yep.
Yeah.
A maybe.
So yeah, but we played Coffeyville. We were in the Kansas League. There's only three Iowa junior colleges that have football: Iowa Central, Iowa Western, and Ellsworth. So we obviously can't have our own conference. So when my brother played at Iowa Central, they played like Joliet and all the schools in Illinois to the east, and then when I played at Iowa Central, they switched and they joined the Kansas League. So all of our opponents were Kansas
It's
schools.
an interesting point because, the history of Waldorf College started out for almost 100 years. Well, for 100 years as a 2-year Lutheran college, which is we're returning to our Lutheran roots. But then the 2-year part of it is long since extinct. And when I went there, when you went there was that conference. Waldorf was a 2-year. Nyack had football. Ellsworth, all these, everybody had
Iowa
football.
Lakes.
Yeah, everybody had football. Now most of them are gone. It's interesting that there's only 3 schools left.
Yeah.
So really, that's the case. Indian Hills, nothing. No, it's all gone.
No, it's Iowa Western, and actually Iowa Western, they started a football program when Nyack lost theirs. So, because actually the guy that's the head coach or was the head coach at Iowa Western, I'm not sure if he still is or not, but he was actually Nyack's head coach.
Oh,
because that's where my brother was committed to go play in the first place, was Nyack.
yeah.
And then that's when they quit their program. The head coach went to Iowa Western, and then
Won a bunch of national championships.
And they played at the high school. Nyack, North Iowa Area Community College played at the Mason City High School Stadium, which is a nice stadium, big field. And then you're saying that that's where Iowa Central played at, or still plays, at the Fort Dodge High School.
Dodger Stadium.
Dodger Stadium, which is great. I love that stadium.
It is
great. Surrounded by brick. It's really old school.
Yeah. All 3 of them play there. St. Edmunds, Fort Dodge Senior High, and Iowa Central, they all play there.
And state band.
And state band.
There you go.
That's why I've been there. Well, that and a JV game last year. Yeah. All right, we're going to switch gears and turn to the gentleman seated next to me. He's been in Forest City a long time. This is day 4.
4, that sounds right.
4. He's got one of them accents like Coach Paramore.
Yeah, well, not quite as
Well, that's all right. That's right.
Yeah.
So we've got here Justin Hart. He's a new graduate assistant at Waldorf University. We're happy to have him. He's going to be coaching our running backs. Justin hails from Marshall, Texas. That's over in far eastern Texas. Marshall High School, Mavericks, and you were a quarterback back in the day.
Yes, sir. I
Number
was.
10.
Yes, sir.
Did you get to choose that, or did they say, "Hey,
I did get to choose that.
why 10?"
It was So there was a quarterback that I watched growing up back in like 2004. He took Marshall to state, and he wore number 10. And I remember watching a state game, and I was like, I want to be like him one day. So,
well, you must have done pretty good because I was looking at your stats. You played. I mean, you had significant playing time all 4 years.
Oh, I was a 4-year starter, yes, sir.
Yeah, you threw in your career for 5,046 yards, 34 touchdowns. You had a 58.7% completion percentage. You averaged 144.2 yards a game, and just a few interceptions. So now
that's pretty good. 4-year starter, and yeah,
Troy, your history guy.
Mm-hmm.
Can you tell me, Justin? Don't give it away yet.
Mm-hmm.
Can you tell me the most famous football alum from Marshall, Texas, Marshall High School Mavericks?
No.
Oh, Zarren?
I as soon as you brought that up, I started thinking about it because there's a
Marshall
really
Mathers.
Yeah, there's a really good wide receiver that played in the NFL for a long time that went to Marshall University. So is it the same guy?
Nope.
Okay.
We actually have a couple of them.
Okay, but let's talk about the guy that won the NFL's Most Valuable Player in 1968.
Oh, come on.
Go ahead.
Y.A. Tittle.
Y.A. Tittle.
I actually got to meet him a couple times, actually.
Oh, man. So, hey, do you
Listen,
know?
all
Do you
of
know?
our
Do you know
old
what?
listeners are going to really appreciate that reference?
Yeah. Do you know what Y.A. stands for?
No.
It's Yelberton Abraham.
Oh, I
Y.A.
would
Tittle.
never have guessed that.
Played for the Colts when it was
Say
when they
the
were
first name again.
Yelberton.
Come on, what is that? Like a Amish name? Like not that Yoder, the Yoder.
I have no idea, but I looked at him up today, and it was like Yelberton Abraham because actually the stadium is it the stadium that's Y.A. Tittle Field?
Y.A. Tittle Stadium.
Wow,
Oh yeah, that's a pretty big deal.
that's awesome though.
And I'll tell you what, now it's Texas football, so it's
Big deal.
Yeah, it's a big
How big is
deal.
that school?
5A.
Yeah,
That's the
yep.
real.
Their locker,
That's like a junior college here.
their athletic facility, their weight room. I was looking at pictures of that.
Yeah.
That's dumb. I mean, it's not dumb. I'm jealous because
Yeah.
what a beautiful
Yeah.
facility.
And it has that indoor facility now, too.
Hey, the money at Texas football.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Y.A. Tittle, he played for the Baltimore Colts. Remember those days?
I've heard of the Baltimore Colts.
Okay.
No, I
oh,
don't
yeah.
even remember the Baltimore Colts.
I remember the Baltimore.
Come on.
I still have a Baltimore Colts pennant at home.
You do.
I do, as a matter of fact.
Well, you are
And I also have
the
a Houston.
true fan.
I have a Houston Oilers. I had all 28 teams back when it was just 28.
Houston Oilers.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that.
So Y.A. Tittle, he played for the Baltimore Colts. He went out to San Francisco, played for the Niners, and then he finished his career with the Giants.
Wow. And then he
The
came
New
back
York
to Marshall,
Football
Texas,
Giants.
and he created Justin.
Yeah. Odell Beckham Jr.'s dad is actually from there, and he was on the state championship game.
So the
Really?
real Odell Beckham,
His father.
The OB,
the real, not the
OB.
junior,
Yeah.
not the OBJ.
the original.
The original.
Yeah, the original.
Yeah.
That's nice
That's pretty cool. So,
because Odell Beckham Jr. will always be just junior.
so then you, of course, you got picked up by the Oklahoma Panhandle State University Aggies
So
to go to school there. You went a couple of years. You ended up as a student assistant while you were there. Now,
I'm sorry. Is there another Oklahoma State? I know the answer to this question.
oh yeah.
So you're the Oklahoma Panhandle
Oh,
State
yeah.
University.
We're the little sister. The very, very
That's
little sister.
like a very, very skinny, narrow,
Yeah.
horizontal sister.
Mm-hmm.
up in the Panhandle.
Yep.
The best hey, it's the best panhandle of all the state panhandles. That's the best one.
Yes, sir.
I didn't even know that was a thing. That's awesome.
So what was and I got to be honest, I didn't have a whole lot of time to do a ton of research on you, Justin. Apologize for that. But what happened after OPSU?
I came here.
That's my boy. That's
I just
what.
graduated.
Wow, you did. Congratulations.
Thank you.
What did you learn?
I majored in history.
Oh, Troy,
Well, now
your spirit animal.
you are welcome here.
Yeah.
Yes. Feel free to peruse any of the boring books that may or may not be here in the compound beneath Bullstorp Field.
Yeah, we had to haul in some books to the
Yeah,
secret,
so I feel comfortable.
the secret underground bunker.
Helps absorb sound and also, interest.
Yeah. So what? So I know that there was the head coach down there, Bob Majeski.
Mm-hmm.
He's got a connection with Coach Finley.
Yes.
Is that right?
He was, I want to say, Coach Finley's defensive coordinator when he was at Coffeyville,
Oh,
whenever Coach Finley played there.
I don't know if he played there. I don't think he did. I think they gave him a jersey, and I think he had to sweep the locker room. Pretty sure. Then he went to Benedictine.
yeah.
Callie, that's for
Ah,
you.
look at that.
Yeah.
You've come around.
Yeah, I don't like it.
Listen to that.
So what is it, Benedictine or Benedictine?
I mean, I've always said Benedictine, but
Yeah, because we're from the Midwest and we understand how to pronounce things, but they say Benedictine, and I've had this conversation with her.
Oh, yeah.
You just don't win, so.
Well, she's in charge.
Mm-hmm.
And that's okay, because I've seen the job. I don't want it.
Yeah.
So, Justin, growing up in the great state of Texas, you have, especially where you're at, because, like Y.A. Tittle, he went to Louisiana State.
I mean, I do like the last name. Is that how you're supposed to say it?
Y.A. Tittle? Tittle?
Perfect. Yeah, I love that.
So Tittle goes to LSU, and so that's not super far from where you're at. So what was your college team that you followed growing up in the great state of Texas?
Alabama.
Roll Tide.
Oh, Roll Tide.
Yeah,
So you and Coach Paramore are going to have some sort of hot oil wrestling to decide this.
It'll be
thing.
awesome.
Most of my
'Cause
family.
he's going to be like, War Eagle, I'm not quite sure what I'm supposed to be. And yet he'll blame your elephant. So,
Yeah.
and there we go.
They say they're the Crimson Tide, but they got a fat elephant walking.
It was a funny line that
That
he
was
said.
great.
He was very serious about it, though. I felt like he was digging in on that. Yeah.
Well, football's a different culture down south, isn't it?
Oh, yes, sir. It's more like a religion.
Oh, what kind? Would you say it's like a Pentecostal or like
A
a
hardcore.
hardcore? Yeah, Pentecostal.
Pentecostal for sure. Absolutely.
They got
That's the word.
They got the Pentecostal football down south. We're more Lutheran.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Don't you know?
Well, I'm going to
so
stuff
do you
your
find that
face.
we talk funny up here?
Oh, a little bit, yeah.
Yeah, we have long O's.
Yeah.
You know what? Go further north. You can go to Minnesota. Minnesota. Oh, yeah, don't you know?
I did hear oofta for the first time.
Well, that's the best word ever.
I was like,
No.
I use that all the time. now.
Oofta. I use it all the time, yeah.
Yeah.
It means whatever you want except for hua. Hua does generally mean whatever you
So have you had a chance to enjoy the boiled peanuts up here in north central Iowa? I'm sorry, bald peanuts.
I have not.
want. Yeah.
Is that something you like?
Yeah,
Peanut?
because
Boiled peanuts?
you like boiled peanuts?
I'll try some bull.
You don't.
Oh, so that's
Thank God.
there is a line. It must be.
is.
He goes a little bit
I'll
further to
tell
the
you
east,
where
gets
that
in
line
Louisiana.
is. Yeah.
Yeah, it gets in
Jackson,
Louisiana.
Mississippi, south, no further west than that, and then just weird little triangle down to the Gulf.
Yeah, Paramore could not believe that in the gas stations up here that there wasn't boiled peanuts, or I'm sorry, bald peanuts.
If you like to, like, I wouldn't go too far in depth with this, but my experience with bald peanuts is that if you just had like a chunk of earwax that you could maybe spice up with some hot sauce and then just throw it on in there, that's the taste. I love peanut butter and I love peanuts, but not.
I'm not an earwax fan.
No.
Not that I've eaten any though, so maybe I am. I don't know.
I think you'd find out pretty quick.
That's not
You
something
can
I'm
add as
going to
much
know.
spice as you want. And he said barbecue is the most favored flavor.
Okay.
We're going to put an end to this boiled peanuts nonsense.
So Zarren, you're kind of a cloak and dagger guy when it comes to your true loves. Obviously, the Four City Indians,
Yes.
and the Waldorf Warriors. But who did you follow? And I think I know the answer because I've seen the semi.
Mm-hmm.
Who were you forced to follow as a young man?
no, actually, the semi is my brother's, and he's the only Cyclone. I'm a Hawkeye.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're Hawkeyes. Yeah, my room still at the house I grew up at is black and gold. Like half of the room is black and half of the room is gold.
And your mother has enshrined that.
Yeah. When you say semi, though, Andy, you got to make sure that. So just to reiterate, farm family, North Iowa, you got a semi to haul the grain around.
Yeah.
And then you can get plates. But those aren't Iowa State plates, though, that he has on the trailer.
I don't know.
No, it's on.
But he's got a big Iowa
Yeah.
State thing on the sleeper of the.
Yeah, your dad's an Iowa State guy, though.
No,
He's not?
My brother is the only Cyclone. He was the only one that was dropped down a flight of stairs.
Did he actually go to Iowa State, though?
He did. Yeah.
That's the system. And again, that's what it is. Because if you go to Iowa State, you have Iowa State stuff. If you go to Walmart.
Did you play for the Minnesota Vikings, Troy? Yeah, there you got a hat sitting on your melon right
You know what? Somebody else bought this hat for me. And I'm bald. So. But you're right.
So the majority of your family, they follow the University of Iowa.
Yeah, we're all Hawkeyes, yeah.
But then, because it really seems, I got to be honest, if I had to guess, I would have said the Egesdal family around here are big Cyclone supporters.
I mean, when
which
you
is
put
great.
it like that, now I guess I do understand why you would buy an Iowa plate because you're just a fan. Well, big news coming. We'll get those Waldorf plates so everybody listening to this can do the exact same thing if you're registered in Iowa.
You should. Everybody.
I expect turning in those black.
And gold.
Are they gold? I don't think
Black
they are.
and, the Iowa plates? They're black and gold, yeah.
Well, just
That's
turn
the
those
University of Iowa Hawkeye colors.
I know, but does anybody watch? Oh, you do. Yeah. Anyway, go ahead.
Thank you. So what was about, was that's a family thing you said?
Oh, yeah, it's a family thing. Most of my family's from Mobile, Alabama.
Are you kidding me?
I love Mobile, Alabama.
Well, I love Mobile, Alabama. Not as much as I appreciate a little further south Gulf Shores and,
Dauphin Island.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you love Dauphin.
I love Dauphin Island. Gulf Shores is a little too much. Do you
Yeah.
ever spend any time on those barrier islands?
I haven't went down there in a while. Last time I went to Dauphin Island, I was probably
Have you
13.
ever been to a surf city? They're on every corner.
I went to a place, it was between Dauphin Island and Bayou La Batterie. There was this little restaurant alongside the road. It was fantastic food. I don't know what it's like in East Texas, but when I was down there, I went to this restaurant, sat down, and, that we were going to get the buffet because there was great food on it. And I had made the mistake of asking the young lady that was waiting on our table, I'll have a Coke. What do you suppose she asked me?
What kind of Coke?
Right. What other kind of Coke is there? Is that something you get? Is that a Southern thing, but again, across the Louisiana line?
Yeah, that's can I get a Coke? What kind of Coke? Well, you want a Sprite? You want a Dr. Pepper? You want a Coke? You want a Fanta?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
There's different kind. What kind of Coke you want? I'm like, Coca-Cola? Okay.
Yeah.
I'm like, what other kind of Cokes are there?
Mm-hmm.
There's an 8-ball.
Well, we got Mountain Dew, and we got Dr. Pepper, and we got I just want a Coca-Cola.
Yeah.
Now, see, up here, we don't, it's not, I learned when just living down in Northwest Missouri, it's Coke.
Mm-hmm.
It's not Coke, like we say up here.
Oh.
We draw the O out.
Coke.
Well, it's an important vowel. If you were to, so we do have, I got a couple of things while we're here and we're talking about college football, which seems like, I think that's actually what we talk about all the time.
We're supposed to.
And we have a broadcaster here. So my question is that if you were, I'm going to spring this on you three, and this is the research that I did in advance. I thought ahead.
Wow, first time.
Yeah, but it's for me. It's very selfish reasons.
Good.
What, if you would if you can name your top 3, maybe 5 college football broadcasters of all time?
Ooh.
Yeah.
Zarren's probably got a bunch of them. Besides, so my number one's obviously Zarren Egesdal.
Okay.
Number 2 would be Orrin Harris.
I'm talking college football. I'm talking television. If you were to break it down to the local radio broadcasters across America, I mean, come on. That's impossible because there are just so many phenomenal local broadcasters that are 100% behind the team. Is there in your mind as you grew up, who is the voice of college football in your brain?
Oof. That's tough.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I know.
Besides Zarren Egesdal.
Yeah. Or Orrin Harris. Right.
Yeah.
I get it because those are the local guys.
Yeah, those are the guys I listen to.
Yeah.
For his last name escapes me. Keith.
Herb Street.
No.
Jackson.
Keith Jackson.
Kirk Herb Street
Yeah,
is
Kirk
Kirk Herb Street makes my list number 3.
Oh no, I see.
Keith Jackson number 1.
Keith Jackson's fantastic.
Lee Corso.
Yep.
No, Lee Corso is number 74.
Oh, you don't like that guy?
I don't like him.
Oh, okay.
Because and the thing is, it's not that he's bad. Obviously, he's on ESPN and Game Day and stuff like
Yeah.
that. But it's one of those deals that it's just all shtick with him. There's not a lot of substance.
Zarren, why don't you? What do you got?
I think the best is Kevin Harlan. You guys ever listened to Kevin Harlan call a game before, whether it's college or the NFL or anything? Kevin Harlan is phenomenal.
Okay.
Just phenomenal. Yeah. The best and actually really good Kevin Harlan, you can go to Google or YouTube, I guess is another source, and just type in Kevin Harlan streaker. And when a streaker jumps on the field, Kevin Harlan will do play-by-play.
Oh, he's
of that.
to the 40.
Yeah,
to the
well,
20.
just Kevin Harlan is he's just a professional, and he's just really good at what he does. I would say I think Kevin Harlan is underrated, by far the best broadcaster in America right now.
Wow. Well, he must be. He's not on that top 25 for the Bleacher Report, but that is.
Where's Jim Zabel?
No,
God rest his soul.
Keith Jackson is number 1 on that report.
Yeah, he's probably my favorite.
Yeah. Got anything, Justin?
I don't.
Have you ever listened to a football game on the radio?
No.
Well,
TV's usually where it's at for me.
If I do, it's going to be the Hawkeyes or the Cyclones, and so it's kind of tough for me to know. Like, it's not like I'm gonna, I get on the internet and check out, see what the Crimson Tide are doing this afternoon. You can dial them in on TV anytime you want.
well, there's the voice of every college sports program too, so you have that, and that's for sure. Well, if you could have a play-by-play announcer for a day, and this is wide open, any play-by-play that would announce a day in your life,
Oh, I got that one.
Yeah.
who would it be?
Z.
Gary Dolphin by far.
Oh,
No.
that's Iowa.
Not only is he, but see, it's not just the Iowa connection. Gary actually means a lot to me personally. And so if I had to, and I grew up listening to Gary, you know what I mean? I grew up on Saturdays in the combine on the farm. We talked about listening to Gary Dolphin, yelling touchdown Iowa, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Touchdown, Iowa.
Yeah,
Touchdown, Iowa.
Exactly. I mean, that is ingrained in my head for, he's been doing Iowa Hawkeye games for the exact same amount of time as I've been alive. And
he's got a hard job. He has to try to keep Podolak sober.
yes, yeah. Got to keep Podolak sober and out of the fraternity's yards, yeah.
And he is very calm and metered. He's got a very nice voice, and he is very excited about Hawkeye football for 100%.
And I'll throw this in there, and hopefully, possibly Gary could be listening to this, so I apologize. But Ed is not the only one that likes his drinks. Gary enjoys a good Bud Light. Gary's a big Bud Light drinker, so if you hear him talking about Bud Light on the broadcast, it's not just for the broadcast. Gary enjoys his Bud Lights.
Well, who would enjoy an adult beverage during a broadcast?
Yeah.
I mean, how juvenile.
Right. Well, unless you're on a podcast, in which case you can do whatever you want.
So, my guy,
Yes.
Howard Cosell.
That's awesome.
That's yours.
It is mine.
I'm sorry.
No, but go.
But-
Tell me why.
Oh, but just
We're
the
Very
flavor.
similar in age.
The
so, yeah.
flavor of
Yes.
Howard Cosell.
Correct.
There he is.
I want
Walking across the yard with a gas can.
I want to hear the most minuscule, ridiculous, mundane stuff that I do every day. Just
Do you guys have any idea?
do you know who Howard
talking
Cosell is?
I want to say I've heard it, like the way you're making his voice. I feel like I've heard it before.
Well, have you ever seen any clips, probably of boxing? I would say he's probably more. Well, he was Monday Night Football for a few years. He didn't.
Yeah, he did.
But he also was like the Muhammad Ali fights. What he is most known for today, and he just had this weird delivery, and
But it worked.
And and he could find a. Now I can't stop.
Can't stop. With,
Yeah. Okay. So we'll come back to that because you did. That is, I'm 100% with you.
sweet.
That's what exactly what I would do. But I will come back with another one since you took that one. What might you have there, Justin?
I would probably have to say the dude from UFC that announces those fights, that brings in the fighters.
Joe Rogan?
Joe
No,
Rogan.
No.
It's time.
Huh?
Yeah.
Jimmy Buffer.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
that guy.
And his brother, both of them. Him,
Let's get ready to rumble.
You have enough going on in your day to warrant that kind of excitement?
I may.
I mean, maybe if you had that announcing going on, maybe
3
so.
rounds.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. That's the hype guy.
I wish I could. He's driving to the wrong house, which is what happened tonight. Yeah,
That's true. So, Troy, I'm interested. Who's your, since I
number
stole your
2,
Cosell.
You did, because he's number 1, John Madden. But I just, for the pen action, I would love to see
The teleprompter where he's like,
because
well, Troy's going over here and he's got a.
I feel like there's 2 things going on here because my day is very whatever I want it to be, and then I frequently forget whatever it is that I'm doing, and so I think it would be hilarious to have John Madden with his light pen explaining hey, here's a guy. He's going down to the barn right now, and now he's turning around, and he's probably look at the weather coming in here. Like I can't make my mind up, and that's a terrible Madden impression, but like just,
Nobody can do Madden except for that one comedian guy.
Yeah, what's that guy's
Frank Caliendo.
Yeah, he can do it perfectly.
Yeah, we could have him on here. I'm sure.
He's not doing anything right now.
No.
We'll get him on one of these episodes.
Yeah, we'll have him do, John Madden. That's about it. He could do a good Pacino as
He
well.
is George W. and a lot of them. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Well, there you go. I'd be John Madden.
That was an interesting little tidbit.
Yeah.
Thank you for that. Yeah.
I got more. I got a couple more questions. I'll bring them up later.
Well, that's great.
I made notes.
So, Justin, what? Okay, now you're entering this grad assistant after your undergrad down at OPSU. Is that right? Okay. And then what do you do in your downtime when you used to have it?
Honestly, just hang out with my girlfriend and
Did
chill
she
with my
come?
cats.
Did she come up here with you?
She come up here. She has a job interview tomorrow, actually.
Oh, where's that at? If you don't mind me asking.
Mercy One over in Mason.
So
Is
she a nurse?
She's going. She has 2 degrees. She's trying to get her.
Doctorate in nursing.
No.
It'd be fun if she was Callie's boss. It's only funny to me.
She's trying to get her go to law school. So.
Oh, really?
Wow. That's impressive.
Why are you looking at me?
So,
I didn't go to law school. I had a kid who did. Yeah.
No way.
No.
So she's got a job interview over there. So somebody's got to make some money as a GA.
Oh,
you know.
yeah.
Yeah, you're going to be lucky to find 2 nickels to rub together for heat.
All right.
You're gonna need. Have you ever lived in a place where it's cold?
Yeah, Oklahoma.
Oklahoma gets cold.
Yeah, it was freezing
Like
there.
30, 40 degrees.
Although I've heard this.
He doesn't know.
He has no idea. Did they tell you about the cold up here?
They've tried to warn me. Yeah,
Like, describe to me what they told you.
What do you think cold is?
they said it's going to be colder than probably you could ever imagine anything.
Yeah,
And then colder.
let's pretend that you could normally feel your eyebrows, and then you just never could feel them again. Nobody's felt their eyebrows in this part of the country for 200 years.
No. So it is cold enough here that say January, February time,
Mm-hmm.
you'll come walking out of the house to go down to the D-Jack to do whatever you're going to do, and your face is going to hurt. Not just a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to hurt. And you're thinking,
I love America.
yeah, exactly. This is the bread. But you know what? Here's the thing, Justin. If the weather was beautiful here year round,
Yeah.
you know how many people live here? Because this is one of the best places to live. This area of the
It
country
is.
is one of the best places to live in the world.
Riff raff.
But we don't want to know. I mean, like, there's only like a few hundred people that listen to this podcast anyway, and they already know
it's
that.
getting close to 1,000.
Ooh,
I'm making that up. It's nowhere near that.
but the realities is that, and I can't wait for you to experience this because you're going to become, you don't even know what's in store for you yet as far as, the cold, but you're going to be a part of this community. You've just made 3 friends for a long time, and we're going to be really difficult in your life.
Yeah.
We're just, because we already like you, so we're going to make fun of you if we can. So we're going to find those weaknesses and exploit them as much as we can because that's what friends do.
Oh, yeah.
Well, if you're guys.
Yeah.
But it's one of those things. You're going to become part of this community, and you will see the 4-city community and surrounding areas embrace everything about Waldorf football, including our coaches, our GAs, and our players.
Yeah. It gets cold here. We don't have seafood that is obviously fresh, and most things that we do eat in the winter is frozen, whether we want it to be or not.
Right.
But we also live in a place where you can be sure that your neighbor's going to help you out 100%. And that's probably like a lot of places in America. I still believe in that. But I also know that because it is so cold here, you stop at the gas station, you're like, I'm not turning my car off. Are you kidding me? It's too cold. I got to keep that heater going. So that'll be a unique experience. Most people from the South that have come up here have expressed for 2 reasons. One, people go to the gas station all the time and everybody's car is running and they're not in their car and the doors are unlocked.
Yeah.
And they're just like, aren't you afraid that somebody's going to steal those cars? And we're like, no, who would steal your car? Why would you do that? Why would you
be
steal
outside on a
another
day
human
like
being's
this?
car? And then 2, it's too cold for that anyway. You can't turn your car off. It'll get cold again.
Yeah.
So it's a unique experience that's coming your way. You're in a community that cares about you and the program and one another, but you also live in a community that's safe and you can be sure that we look after each other and each other's property. It's pretty neat.
That's awesome.
Oh, you just wait. So, Zarren, you're going to be a father.
Oh, yes.
It's kind of a big deal. I mean, I can't wait to talk with Ms. Weil and be like, he didn't even think of that. I had to go, baby.
Well,
Yeah, he's thinking about it all the time.
well, I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
No, definitely.
So, do you know what we're having yet?
Yeah, we're having a girl.
Oh, dude, we need to hang out.
Yeah,
Yeah, you have
got
experience.
lots of advice.
I can give you some now.
I got nothing for you.
Okay, so Zarren, this is it. This one's free. Okay, so and this is what I mentioned earlier about you being classmates with my eldest child, my daughter, my firstborn.
Yeah.
You kind of have to develop a way to, as a father of a girl, to make sure that young men, not that they wouldn't be interested, because young boys are stupid. I think we can all attest.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Still am.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we're
really stupid.
We're
yeah.
we're still all 10. I mean,
Yeah.
get us together. But I will give, this is the best advice I got. Now, when Madeline was in junior high, I decided that,
That's your daughter.
yes, I'm not going to be nice to any of the boys
Yeah.
in her social group, except for one. I picked out Zarren Egesdal
Yeah, you should.
because I liked Zarren. I thought he had, well, number one, he's a hard worker. We know that.
We know that.
So a lot of times, these idiots would be standing around, and my
He's
daughter would
carrying
be
like 2x4s around.
yeah, exactly.
Like I saw when he was 2.
Yep. So I would always say, Z, how you doing? And I wouldn't recognize or talk to anybody else in that group. And the philosophy, and you can have this, the philosophy was called the farm dog philosophy. Now, what the farm dog philosophy is that if you go out onto somebody's farm that you haven't been there before, and the dog is wagging his tail and he's jumping around because he's excited to see you, you have a pretty good idea that you can go over and pet that dog. Now, if the dog is chained up with, 4-inch chain link and it's snapping and snarling and showing its teeth and trying to jump at you, you know that I'm going to stay away from that dog. But the dog that scares me the most is the one that just sits there and looks at you.
Just waits. What are you
Just-
going to do?
Yeah, exactly. Balls in your court, pal. What are you going to do? So you're just kind of always, I don't know about that dog. I don't know if he's friendly. And I don't know if he's mean, but I'm not going to take a chance. So every time I'd go into a basketball game or anything like that, the idiots would be sitting up in the stands, and unavoidably somebody, usually Brandon, see on thumb tip, and he would do the old, "Hi, Mr. Buffington," and all it ever was a stare. Now, Maddie got to be about a
Stare down Brandon of all people.
great kid. I mean, really, is a great kid, and they were all great kids. That has nothing to do with it. But I wanted them to understand that this old farm dog
Policy,
Yeah, this old farm dog.
Yeah.
I wanted them to wonder about. So about Maddie's sophomore year, my wife came to me and said, "You got to stop."
Yeah.
Yeah, which was right. And so, not only did I always talk to Zarren, I always I started talking to some of those other dimwits.
Yeah.
And thank God she went to college and met a boy from Missouri and married him.
Well, I mean,
Yeah, because you guys have too much history up here. I don't want to hear those stories.
Yeah.
I got nothing to add to any of that because I don't have, first of all, I don't have daughters.
Yeah.
One of my sons is one of the idiots in the stands you're talking about. And I don't know where to go from there.
Well, I mean, not
Also, all the farm dogs growing up on a farm that I had were pretty like dumb. Like they were literally like, oh, there's a UPS truck. And one guy got his tail run over by a fifth wheel, and then he pooped wrong for the next 15 years.
I hate it when that happens. So, Zarren, when's the big day coming?
the end of November.
Oh, that's right. We talked about that.
Yeah, so we were thinking it was the 25th of November, and then we went to our last appointment, which was supposed to be our 20-week appointment, and they're like, "No, maybe you're only 18." I was like, "Aren't you guys the doctors? Shouldn't you like?" I mean, I'm not gonna know this. Like,
So it's the when now?
so they don't know. They were gonna do some more tests, but it's probably the end of November.
End of November. So like
Yeah.
Thanksgiving?
Yeah, Thanksgiving. Yeah. So of course I made that joke of, of course you can't have the kid on. Of course I'm making this joke on here because I've already made it to her. It won't go over either way well, but I said I can't have the kid on Thanksgiving because I'm definitely not eating hospital Thanksgiving dinner. Like I want
No.
a normal Thanksgiving dinner.
No.
Well, what a great opportunity.
Well, you
to
can
name
have
your daughter.
You could have the baby over at the. Oh, that's a beautiful name.
Cornucopia.
And you could have the baby at the house. Just she
Yeah.
could be off with a midwife.
Yes. Do that.
Yeah.
No, I like my life. So
Okay, yeah.
we're going to do it at the hospital, not on Thanksgiving Day because I'm going to have a good Thanksgiving dinner because my mother is awesome and she is
She is.
awesome farm
Yes.
mom that makes dinners that are to die for, and
I
nobody
think you
will
just sealed the fate that you're going to be doing this on Thanksgiving Day.
Yeah,
No,
seems
it's
like
Also my favorite holiday.
I
but
told her that she's
Yeah.
going to have to hold it.
I bet I don't think you understand how this works.
well, good for you. We're
Yeah,
super
yeah.
excited. That's
Yeah.
fantastic.
I'm excited.
I can't wait till Cornucopia comes and
A little cornucopia
Yep.
Egesdal.
I guess it's awesome.
That's a great.
I don't think that's going to go over well because, I've come up with cool names like that too, and they've all just been
Shot down.
shot down. Yeah.
Well,
I wish if it was a boy, I had two names in line that it was going to be.
Don't say them because you're gonna. Because
Yeah.
if you guys ever have a boy, you're gonna maybe want to use those. So about the time it's like, well, we knew what you were
Yeah.
gonna name him. Heard it on
May
the
I
podcast.
suggest Bonanza though?
Bonanza. No, but actually, one of the names I was going to use, it's familiar to Troy. I mean, your son had a dog at one point named one of the names I was going to use.
Kinnick.
Well, I wasn't going to say it out loud, but now you just did.
That's pretty strong.
Listen, I would just based on your history, that's the one I would guess.
Yeah.
For everybody else at my house, on the west side of my house, there is a variety of nameplates of dogs who have been part of our family, and there's always room for one more nameplate.
Yeah. But the one I liked more off, well, I won't say it, but maybe you can cut it out. But it was actually Carver. I thought, nobody names their kid Carver.
After George Washington Carver.
No, after Carver Hawkeye Arena.
Yeah,
Who-
Carver
what was-
Hawkeye Arena.
What was Carver Hawkeye Arena?
It was named after a former. Now you put me on the spot, and I can't think of it.
somebody,
What if-
somebody that gave a lot of money.
Yeah.
If that person, though, I'm not saying this would ever be the case, but just say hypothetically that person became, say, like a mass murderer with a sword. Carver is a terrible name, or the perfect
true.
name.
Yeah.
So what you have to do.
No, I ruined it for you. I could see your face. You're just like, oh my God.
Now,
What you need-
if I ever have a boy, all I'm going to be thinking about is this kid going to become a mass sword murderer.
It was like,
That's more up to you.
oh, he's interested in swords. Like, no.
Put the sword down.
Yes.
Sword down,
I've actually
son.
wanted to buy a samurai sword. As of recently, I've been looking at some samurai swords, but I am no longer going to be interested in those
I
samurai
can't
swords.
have a kid named Carver. The guy's, I mean, come on.
It
Who's
might
gonna
come in
do
handy at
My
Thanksgiving.
favorite Thanksgiving is
Might come in handy at
Carver.
Thanksgiving.
Come here. He's like, yeah, I know.
I got this.
Your sword, it's on his back. He just got it like ninja style.
You were talking about peanuts earlier. Isn't Carver the guy that invented the peanut?
George Washington Carver. He didn't invent it. He utilized
Jimmy
it.
Carter was a peanut farmer.
Over in Plains, Georgia. Actually, that's one of the things that
Thanks
Coach
for your
Paramore.
contribution for that. Like, we all know that. Did you, wait,
Justin?
is that the episode you listened to?
What? What
the
episode?
the Paramore episode where we talked
No.
about him?
We did talk about George
Talked
Washington
about Plains,
Carver.
Georgia.
We did, yeah, because where Coach Paramore was from, Dothan, Alabama, is considered the peanut capital of the world.
Yeah, not Plains.
Really?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
also, Jimmy Carter was a nuclear scientist.
Yes, he was a physicist, actually.
Oh,
So, Justin, how many children do you have?
0.
You're at
I
0.
have
Well-
2 cats and a dog, so that counts as something.
So, are they
No.
your cats or are they
cats
her
don't
cats?
count for anything.
Actually, the cats are mine, and the
Nice.
dog is hers.
What are the names of your animals?
Pharaoh, Princess
And
Leia,
Carver.
and
What?
Maverick.
Oh, Princess Leia.
Which one is Maverick the dog?
Maverick's the dog.
It's the coolest name.
Yeah.
And then you went.
Well, that's
with
after
Princess
Marshall High
Leia,
School, right?
And the dogs are yours. No, the cats are yours.
Cats are mine.
Princess Leia and what?
Pharaoh,
Like a pharaoh rod, like you start
like
a
a
fire
Egypt.
with?
like Egypt.
Oh, like
Oh,
like that.
Pharaoh.
Yeah, Pharaoh.
Not
Okay.
like Mia Pharaoh.
I thought it was Ferro, you know, like
No.
a pharaoh rod.
Yeah,
you
he
start
literally he was a stray. He just came up and popped up on the air conditioner unit back in Oklahoma, and I was like, I just walked outside, and I was like, hey, buddy, you just got on my lap, and then
I mean, if you weren't a
Walk
history
inside.
major, I don't even know what I'd think about that.
So, Zarren, poker.
Yeah.
Oh,
So, not only are you
have
the
you heard
voice,
of that?
Yeah, he's the voice of all things local, warriors and Indians, but he's also somewhat of a could I say semi-professional, since that's not your only gig.
Yeah, I think semi-professional is probably, I play on professional circuits, but
Yeah.
because that I have a different job, I think semi-professional is probably the right word, yeah.
If you're a semi-professional, would your semi have a cyclone on it or a Hawkeye?
Definitely a Hawkeye, yeah.
So tell us a little bit about how you got into that and what you do with it.
I knew that radio was not going to pay the bills when I first started in radio. I talked with a good athletic director over at Fort Dodge, and that's kind of where I started. And he once told me, he's like, "Yeah, I've got a degree in communications as well, but now I'm an activities director at a high school because I knew that I wasn't going to make money." Gary Dolphin, we've talked about him already. Gary Dolphin, actually, a lot of people don't realize, but his full-time job is not the voice of the Iowa Hawkeyes. Gary Dolphin is a banker at U.S. Bank in Davenport. So I said, how can I make money and travel? And we played poker at my house when we were younger, when we were in high school, and I know Tanner was a part of that. And
Yeah. I think he lost some money to you.
yeah, we all lost money to each other. None of us were good back then, and so I started playing poker. It started when I was in Fort Dodge and started online. So I don't know. I just started playing and found out that I was decent. I wasn't good. I was decent. I was good against people that were bad. As I was bad, they were bad, but I was better at being bad than they were. So I was like, this could be a thing. So I hired a coach and started studying. I have a coach I study with, and learn the game, and now it's, I would say, probably 85% of my yearly income is from gambling, not just from poker. I gamble at a lot of different things as well.
That's impressive.
It's amazing, actually, because, I mean, you are a very good broadcaster. I will say that you have a very smooth delivery. You have no problem conversating. I've sat next to you many times for a little bit behind the scenes. Obviously, in the box at Waldorf, we're not too far apart. That's not my favorite press box, to be honest with you. Forest City's got a very good press box. We're actually separated by a window, and yet we are side by side to some extent. And then in baseball season, when I'm announcing for baseball, Zarren's right there for half the games at least. And what I've noticed is that he likes a little company. So even though he's talking to the listener at home, he'll turn to me and he'll conversate with me, and I've learned that it's just better if I just go along with it. And sometimes I'll respond, and you can't hear me on his microphone, but he gets with it, which makes me lead me to the next thing, because Zarren has also filled in for me. What's the difference between the PA and the radio broadcast?
Well, I think the biggest thing is just the preparation. And not to say that PA doesn't have any preparation.
That's exactly what I do here. There's no preparation involved. You just have to read the names.
Because if you talk to a guy like Mike J, who does the state track meet, I mean, that guy is probably the most prepared guy out of anybody. But
he's amazing. By the way, folks, if you don't know, Iowa State track is probably the best state track meet in America. First of all, you get to hear the best from every small town. I bet you get almost every small town that's in the state of Iowa named. He knows everything about everybody, and he calls it like a horse race, which is awesome. I don't do that because it's not the same thing. But
right. But other than that, there's a lot of similarities to calling the game on the radio and calling the game on PA. But I think the biggest difference is the preparation. I don't do a whole lot of preparation when I go to do PA. I do some pronunciation stuff. That's about it. But
there is a bigger difference, and the bigger difference is that you have to tell a story, and you have to make somebody feel like they're in the environment, even though they're not there. If they're in the tractor in October, you have to bring that to the tractor. And in the PA, I don't have to, because the crowd is there. So I'm just announcing, and I'm trying to make it sound as much like a Vikings game as I can.
That's a shame.
Yeah, well, but that's what I go by, because that announcer's awesome. I don't know that guy's name, but that
Alan.
Is it?
Alan.
His just name's Alan.
Well, Alan,
like Prince.
Allen,
like all
PA.
the people from Minneapolis are like,
Yeah.
my name is now Steve.
Alan,
I am the only Steve in the universe.
Yeah, I can't think of his last name, but Alan. But actually, he's like one
No,
of
it's
the top.
Paul Allen.
He's amazing.
Paul Allen's the radio guy. He's
no, he's
you're
talking
about
PA
the
guy at
okay.
U.S. Bank Stadium. And
Never been there.
and that's Alan, and he is like one of the. He does the Super Bowl too.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
That guy is like second down. He's like, his voice is not even real.
Yes.
If that's actually how he talks, what it is to be like his wife, I don't even know.
Yeah.
Because he's like, we need more milk. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. No, his name is Alan. He actually does Super Bowl, and he's done a few Olympics too. That's how good he is.
Yeah, because he's amazing.
Yeah, he's done the
That's
world.
why I try to, even though it's not
I love
favorite
it.
team,
I love it.
I go by, I try to
You have to mimic.
emulate I mimic the best.
Isn't the world
If
just
we've
about
ever
mimicry?
been to karaoke together, and we haven't yet, but that's going to be an event, I will tell you.
Oh, we're gonna do
We're going
karaoke.
to do that. Oh yeah, for the GridIron Club. Why
Yeah.
wouldn't we do?
That
And
sounds like something we do
I
after a
don't
game.
sing like a person that just like, this is my song. I sing like I only sing songs that I think I can mimic the people singing it.
Cool.
Really?
A lot of country, I bet.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Cash,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Justin, when we talked about country music just a minute ago,
A lot of country, I bet.
so what do you listen to? What's your genre that you like to listen to?
Ooh, honestly, it'd probably be a little bit of everything from the oldies to pretty much anything, honestly.
Have you heard the old countries coming out, old country music? I mean, I'm talking, Merle Haggard and all sorts of stuff coming out of Coach Paramore's office.
A little bit, yeah. A little bit. I'll hear it playing in the office a little bit, but
So let's turn real quick to professional teams, since Troy is a devout follower of the Vikings, the men of the North.
I'm devout like
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, and it makes sense. Most everyone around here, because you're really not close to other teams. You're 2 hours away, and the Vikings have, they got a good thing going up there. It's, the U.S. Bank Stadium and such. Justin, who is your professional team growing up?
Honestly, I'd probably have to say New England just because of Tom Brady.
Wow. I didn't expect that at all.
No. When he said new, got a little excited.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a Saints fan.
I mean, right now I'd probably go with Saints. But
Yeah, that's my
honestly,
guy. This is my guy. He's my best friend now.
Oh, okay.
I
Yeah.
really don't watch NFL all that much. It's usually just college.
Yeah, college is a lot more fun to watch, but what are you going to do Sunday?
Mm-hmm.
Go to church,
Yeah.
come home,
Start that. It's a good place
have
to
dinner.
start. Yep.
Yeah. Z,
And you got to watch football.
your professional team is?
I'm a Philadelphia Eagles fan.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
That's the
What is it? Fly,
worst part
Eagles,
of this
fly
relationship
on
that
the
I've
road
had with
to
him for
victory.
quite a
Fight,
few
fight.
years.
Quiet now. This is our podcast.
I converted Tanner, his classmate, from the Bengals to the Vikings.
Okay.
And my oldest boy, Tate, was easy to change from the Bears, for obvious reasons, to the Vikings.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, Zarren's a cool guy. And they're like, no, he's an Eagles fan. And I'm like, that's unforgivable. They're the worst. They're the worst.
Worst fan base in the nation.
They're
Yeah.
the worst.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why? Because you're not a
And you're one of
guy.
them.
Yeah.
But you're
Yeah.
not like that, are you? Like, they're terrible.
If I was at Lincoln Financial Field
You'd be like that?
drinking,
Oh, my God.
I probably could. I'm not saying I would be. I don't know that I would boo Santa Claus, but I might.
Nah, good point. I see where you're going there. I bet you would not boo Santa Claus, so I'll put you in like the lighter crowd of the Eagles.
I'm a light. I'm an Eagle light.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's
Well,
the first light thing I've ever consumed in my life.
I appreciate Justin's answer that he just
Yeah.
follow a lot of NFL. I mean, that's honest because let's be honest, during the football season, especially now, I don't know what's in for you, but you really don't have time.
No, I don't. I haven't really been able to watch any Bama games just because of coaching college football.
Yeah.
How are you going to establish a relationship with the running backs as their coach?
I don't know. It's kind of like they got to know that you trust them and they trust you. It's more like it's just a trust built relationship. So pretty much, like, you can't be hard on them, but you can't be too hard. Like,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I mean?
So what's the most important thing in coaching?
Honestly, I'm not old enough to tell you that yet.
Well, what's the best coach you had? What did they do? Obviously, you're going to emulate. You've had a lot of coaches.
Yeah. Probably Mojo at OPSU. He's probably been the biggest thing to me is just being honest, just tell the truth no matter what, and just be there for the kids, but love them hard, but be harder on them.
Okay.
So
I like it.
Yeah. Like a little bit of reality, you're there for them. You're not, yeah. Very
Yeah,
good.
and they know, and that's one of the things. It's about the relationship, and that's we've heard that so many times from our coaching staff, and from the players that we've had on. Is that the most important thing in college football is what is it? 1% of college athletes, between 1% and 2% of college athletes, move on to the next level at any. And think about the number of college athletes that are out there.
Yeah, in NFL, yeah.
Yeah, they're not going to move on to professional.
Mm-hmm.
And so, what our job?
The average
is,
NFL career is only 2 3/4 years.
Yeah. But, you get these, you hear it from the kids, and it's so important to build that relationship with them, just like what you said. They need to trust you, and you need to trust them. And when they need that redirection, which is going to happen, that's what you're there for. Give them the skills, give them the all the techniques, footwork, you name it. Teach them those absolute fundamentals, and then at the end of the day, it's about like you said, love them.
Yeah.
Love them hard. I love that. That's
I think
great.
you're going to learn a lot. You got a great coaching staff around you that are, a little more seasoned, and you're going to figure that out too. You're going to combine it with the information that you've got plus the personality that you've got, and you're going to figure out what kind of coach you are. That's awesome.
So you're a history major. What are you getting your graduate degree in here at the WU?
I want to say it's organizational leadership in sports management.
Very good.
Mm-hmm.
Very good.
How in the world and what is the value, 2-part, to painting a picture of the football game, the greatest game on earth, on the radio.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably 90%. I mean, it's valuable. You have to paint the picture. You have to, if you listen to my broadcasts and you listen to me, I tell you what jersey, what color the jersey is, what color the pants are, what color socks they're wearing, what it's like outside, how many fans are on each side. I mean, it is
what the
imperative.
fans feel.
Yeah,
like I've heard you say, a lot of fans don't like that. Coaches don't like that.
Yeah. And you can tell that, you know what I mean? Like the people that listen or sit at the baseball games that sit right next to us, like a pitch is close to the zone. Like I can tell from them, like, yeah, the fans did not like that call. And so now I'm sitting at home and I have my eyes closed and I'm listening to this game and I can just see that little group. You know what group I'm talking about? A little group just off to our left that you can just see them in their eyes going, how is that not a strike? You know what I mean? Like, yeah. I mean, it's so important. It's the most important thing in the world. You could miss their jersey numbers. You could say that it's, or miss their names and just say jersey number. It's jersey number 73 running down the sidelines. That's fine. Miss that. But I want to know that it's a blue jersey with yellow striping and a purple helmet.
They got to see it. Yeah. They got to see that. They got to see the panoply of the colors because it's October and we've got so many things going on with our different trees, and they just got to feel the environment. They got to know the temperature. They got to, and you can provide that. And you give that information to them. Yeah.
Otherwise, it's boring. I listen to other radio broadcasters. I go on Twitter and I follow almost probably every radio broadcaster in the state, and I click on their page and I listen to them, and sometimes I sit back and I'm like, I can't listen to this anymore.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about this game. I know that Jimmy Johnson just threw a pitch that missed outside, and that's 4-1. That's cool. Is it sunny? How many fans are there?
Yeah.
What color are they wearing?
I do want it to be true and accurate and not made up. For me, I do have to say their names because as a PA, I personally believe, like, if I can say as many kids' names over the public address as possible, there's a parent there that just wants to hear their baby's name said. So like I try everything I can to do that. But there is a tremendous value to showing the world that there is great football happening here, and there is something nostalgic about hearing it and not seeing it when everything in the world today is being seen.
Absolutely true. So what we're going to finish up on is probably one of the most important pieces of our podcast, and we already touched on this with Zarren, so I'm going to skip him. A little bit. And Justin, one of the most important things in anybody's world is their family. And so since you're, let's be honest, you're hell and gone from East Texas right now, tell me a little bit about your life and the people that are important to you.
People in my life probably have to be my dad. He's back home. He's a security for the high school that we have, and he retired from being a cop for probably ever since I was born.
So he was a cop in Marshall?
He was a cop there, and then he worked as a prison guard in Huntsville, Texas.
Yeah, God bless him for that. Good for him.
So he's been a cop pretty much his whole life. My brother. He's doing some welding right now. He's actually getting married next May. My stepmom, she came into the picture probably when I was in high school, and she pretty much just was my mom.
Yeah.
So, and then my girlfriend, I met her in Oklahoma. So she's been a major part of just a whole support system and everything. And
is she from Oklahoma as well? What's her name?
Yeah,
Karen.
Karen. Nice.
That's an old school name, right?
That's a good name.
Yep.
Strong
hold on to that one. So she's from Oklahoma.
Yeah, she's from Oklahoma.
From the Panhandle or from the normal part?
From the Panhandle. Yeah, from the Panhandle.
So the better part.
Yeah.
Very few people live there, man.
There's like a border wall between the normal part and the Panhandle.
Yeah, they're like, you can't get in
we
the Panhandle.
don't let those other normal.
Yeah.
Like, this is nearly Texas, but we're just a little bit different.
Yeah, there's a little bit of everything up here. There's a little bit of Colorado, a little bit of Kansas, a little bit of Texas, a little bit of New Mexico.
Got it all. Well, I'll tell you what, Justin, we are super excited to have you here, not just on the podcast, but we're excited to have you here at Waldorf University. Want to thank Zarren Egesdal. I'm going to thank Justin Hart, our newest graduate assistant, Coach Hart there at Waldorf University. You're going to be coaching our running backs for taking some time, coming out here to the secret underground bunker deep beneath Boltstorff Field.
Yes. Look, August 3rd, That's report day, and I can tell you that Andy and I are figuring out a way to try to get the names and the positions and the future dreams and goals, aspirations, and just a quick little interview with as many of the Warriors that we possibly can. I know it's a busy day and there's a lot going on with the team. It'll be a different kind of broadcast. We'll be down at the D-Jack, hopefully, and we'll be set up so that we can run through as many players as we can. Hey, how you doing? That's definitely something that you want to listen to.
Yep.
We definitely want all of our parents of all of our players to listen to this broadcast, to take a look into the episodes prior to this and obviously hereafter. But look, your kid's going to be named. It's not just like making sure that the kids are named on the PA when they're playing and they do something that is important. It's the same thing. That is the concept of this show, is it's essentially just a worldwide PA to say, hey, we've got some great players. We've got outstanding coaches. We've got a great community. This is Waldorf University.
Well said, Troy. So I want to thank you guys for being here once more. And for Troy Thompson and Andy Buffington, thank you for listening to the Waldorf GridIron podcast. And as always, go Warriors. You can join the Waldorf GridIron Club today by sending a check to the Waldorf GridIron Club, P.O. Box 125, Forest City, Iowa, 50436.
Or message us by visiting and like our Facebook page, Waldorf GridIron Club, or email us at waldorfgridironclub@gmail.com.
Or it's as easy as clicking on the Support the Show link on your phone. Become a patron of the GridIron Club by choosing to support the program monthly. $100 is the Black membership at $9 a month.
The $250 level is Purple at $25 a month.
$500 is the Warrior membership at $45 a month.
The All-Conference level is $750 or $65 a month.
$1,000 is the All-American membership at $85 a month.
The Champion level is $125 a month, and that's $1,500 a year.
$2,500 is the Hall of Fame membership.
The Waldorf GridIron Club podcast is hosted by Andy Buffington and me, Troy Thompson. Produced by Sunnyside Farmstead Studios in beautiful rural Forest City, Iowa. The music is by Christian Leo. The Waldorf GridIron Club is a nonprofit 501c3 organization dedicated to football student athletes of Waldorf University. Our mission is to assist the program in maintaining the best small college football experience in America.